Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girl. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing about us fake. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40. In the middle of nowhere, nobody going home tonight. Till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight. Yeah. Just a bunch of John Deere junkies getting funky to some old hang. Nothing been stuck in the mud that we can't hook up to a rusty chain in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing. You know we're straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know we're straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40. In the middle of nowhere, nobody going home tonight. Till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight. Woo!
Babe, show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on the jacket on ya. He got a thing for Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish? I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fully up the status. Walk up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has the time been ticking. I've been out here playing my position, I'm about to get it. Now ain't no one about to block a hit cause someday something come along. Someone tell me I'm someone doing alright. Somewhere, but not tonight though. Hey, I'm only here for a minute. Bet you want a girl to keep it independent, and I know you gotta like a girl that's this appealing. Get you caught up in
everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Folks, quite simply, it's a clash of two of the best quarterbacks in the game. It's TB12, Tom Brady, going up against Aaron Rodgers. With that, let's get you up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. Blunt, the lone running back. They're going to give it to him running right. Fighting through. He takes this for 3 to the 29. As the offensive starters pop up on your screen, Charles, let me ask you, Chris Hogan, what does he bring to this offense?
A guy that you look at and really don't circle in your game plan. There's other guys that you look at, then you realize this guy can do damage. Finds his way open on almost every snap.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider.
Scoring defense in the entire NFL. They look pretty good against Pittsburgh. They'll be playing in another Super Bowl. How do they do it? Because they don't have household names at every position.
And that's a great point and a great question, because when you go out and talk to the average fan, name 10 guys, name 5 guys on the New England defense, they're often hard-pressed to do it, but it's a Pittsburgh run defense. They may not be household names, but they know how to coach them up, and they know how to plug them into the right places.
That's right. If it's a game of chess, the Patriots always move the right pieces.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And the Patriots getting ready to go again on offense. And, Charles, you and I get a stat pack before every game. At the top of this one for the Patriots, the first note was that they're on their way to their 9th Super Bowl appearance. That is something. Most of any team.
And 8 of those since 2001. Would that be accurate?
That is
because
accurate.
The first one was Super Bowl 20. That didn't go very well against the Bears. But since that time, they've become the predominant team, going to Super Bowls and winning them. What a franchise. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
How about the game Hogan had in the AFC Championship? 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, both career highs for the 4th-year man out of Monmouth.
Another undrafted free agent made good with New England. Everyone talks about his background. Remember, he was a lacrosse player at Penn State. 1 season of football at Monmouth where he played offense and defense. But I think what appeals to New England about lacrosse players, their movement skills. They are used to being shifty, used to running through contact, used to absorbing those things, and that allows him to make those contested catches in tough spaces. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Brady going to throw. Steps away. Caught. Left side. Bennett. Charles, so many of the Patriots know what the Super Bowl feels like. Martellus Bennett, a guy, 8th year, first Super Bowl trip, and after the game, you could tell he was a little elated, doing some dances with the cheerleaders. And
the pom-poms were going everywhere, weren't they?
They were.
But the interesting part was his observation later on social media where he said, I was out of my mind excited. I looked around at a lot of the guys on the Patriots team, and they're like, yeah, you know, we've done this before, okay? We can be cool about it. But think about his impact this year. Supposed a team with Rob Gronkowski became the feature tight end after Gronk's injury. They are so glad that they picked him up.
Blunt, the lone running back. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And this is caught. It's Edelman.
Well, if you like to see guys play the game hard, if you like to see the guys be aggressive, if you like to see the guys maximize their ability, you're talking about Julian Edelman, aren't you? What a game he had in the AFC Championship against Pittsburgh.
118 yards and a touchdown, and now he'll look to do what he did in Super Bowl 49, where he was over 100 with a score as well.
And he's just one of those guys that if he's on the field, you have to respect his talent, but you especially respect his passion.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blount, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And as the Packers get set to come back out on offense, and Charles, I want to ask you a question. You can take it offensively or defensively for Green Bay as they look to next year. Where do they need to focus, draft and otherwise?
I think I'll start on the offensive side of the ball, and I think running back is going to be a position they have to address. No matter what they decide to do with Eddie Lacy, decide what they're going to do with Ty Montgomery, but get more running backs into the mix. And the offensive line, you always want to fortify that position. But flip it over to the defensive side, who's going to be the pass rusher besides Clay Matthews? Is Nick Perry still coming on? Do they have to draft someone else to help supplement Julius Peppers? In the secondary, they need corners that can cover. That's a big spot for them.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. The former first-round pick, Shea McClellan, in on the stop. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go on the ground. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and throwing is Rodgers on third down. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
Pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Brady to throw on second down. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words.
51, 20, go, go. 55, 20, 55.
They come out here in the eye. Brady gives now to Blunt. And some space here. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snow.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Kenny Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing now is Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And now the Packers get set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Going on 1st down is Brady. That is caught at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman, 27 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second.
He's got him in. Complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. First down, Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jabal Sheard coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. And they're going to go soft on the corners.
319.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
I'm doing
it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is out of bounds just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Their big-bodied receiver, 30 yards. And the Packers are back within a score.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. On the toss, this is Blunt. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12.
Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
On 2nd down, here's Brady. And right side, caught, Hogan. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They'll run again with Blunt. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on 4th.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Kenny Clark in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play, that's going to hurt.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's fourth down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on fourth down and 9. Rodgers going to go on fourth down. And this is incomplete. All right, I want to hop to something else real quick. You get 2 weeks off before the Super Bowl. Atlanta, New England. Everyone knows what happens that second week when they're in Houston. What happens the first week?
Well, I think for most of them, it's making sure they get rest and rehab because they're going to let them come down off of the victory from before you start up. Plus, you don't want to get the game plan in too early. You'll peak, and guess what? Now you'll be stale by kickoff time. The best ones integrate the game plan similar to a regular season game. During the week, get it in there with a few extras along the way. So, yeah, they'll make sure they ramp up in time for kickoff on Super Bowl Sunday and not before.
And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing now is Brady. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
To How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. Looking for someone to throw to. Great protection. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game. Now a carry for Blunt. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. They come out here in the eye. Brady going to try and throw on third down. The throw left side complete to Hogan. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now this time Rodgers will throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with it?
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, 76 yards. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. It's up and good to make it 21-17. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Now Dion Lewis to return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for me. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now Brady throwing on second down. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But one of the things you like about a zone read play that has an option component to it is that it gives you plenty of different ways to go. On this one, though, I'm not sure they chose the right one. Maybe they should have pitched it out on this one because that play was absolutely swallowed up.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. Powers over it.
He's fed him his pads, didn't he?
And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Time for a break. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. On second down, here's Brady. Flush to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Now they'll run it on the toss. And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. So, Charles, that's Exhibit A for the danger of running a toss play this close to your own end zone.
And how well was that defended? Someone was able to come up and set the edge. You can't go around him. And this time, he was left with just nowhere to go.
The Patriots offense now. They worked their way back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. 2-point game. They have the football. Their defense was able to do their job. Now can the offense just hold on here, Charles?
And they'd better, because after the job the defense did to give them the ball back with this lead, it's time for them to seal the deal and allow them to go to the locker room with a victory.
They'll try to seal the deal. Here we go. Here's the fullback, Ripkowski. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the defense definitely showing blitz here. Now they'll run it on the toss. He lost a bit. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Over. Run right. Get 300. Here, Mike.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds...
Taking the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. So how many practices have we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there?
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do that.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. He's back to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Back to throw. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
630. Let's go. Box it. Let's go.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. Throwing left side, it's complete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Patriots are close to finishing off this football game. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
20, 53. Hey, 66. Oh, 50.
Brady going to look to throw. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Now Brady. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time.